Hello folks, this is Geeky Andy, and this is a video tutorial the fastest way to grind the Alchemy skill for the mcMMO plugin. Now, leveling up Alchemy is slow. Astonishingly slow. So I've made two contraptions designed to help optimize grinding Alchemy. Just keep in mind that Alchemy is still a very slow skill to grind. At least it's not as slow as the fishing skill anyway. Afterwards, I'll probably go over the history and on how I made these things and why they are designed like so. Of course, in the description there will be a world download to the videos here. First off, starting off with design 1, is original concept by me, but my friend LupasWolf uh, helped up with the redstone and compacted this to a much smaller size than what I had it before. What it involves is a 4-layer of brewing stands split into different tiers, depending on the ingredient that is to be used. Starting with the top here, where gunpowder is inserted into the brewing stands, then the nether wart, sugarcane, or any other ingredient, potion ingredient, and then of course your modifier, whether you want it to strengthen or lengthen your potion. So basically what happens in between is you put in your potion ingredients one by one, depending on which tier they're at. So redstone into here, your sugarcane into here, nether wart. I don't know. I just brought these down a couple levels. They're typically not water bottles. They're supposed to be in that, and gunpowder at the top step. And then once the last potion is brewed, you just hit this button here, and it'll bring all the potions down one tier, just like that. And once that's done, you can start throwing in potion or your potion ingredients again, all the way back up to the top here. Then, of course, once all that's done, and that last brewing stand has finished brewing, you hit the button again, and that is how that works. Up at the top is just an automatic uh, water uh, water water bottle maker by filling up glass bottles automatically. This lever here controls whether or not it starts producing water bottles or not, and it will automatically stop once it's filled up with water bottles, although this is sort of like an override stop switch. This overall maximizes the amount of experience you get per materials. As such, this is design 1 where you need approximately 9 chests worth of each of these ingredients. So 9 chests of gunpowder, nether wart, your potion ingredients, of course, and your modifier. And of course, every single repeater here is a maximum delay, except for this bottom one here. Keep that in mind when you construct this thing. And basically what the redstone is doing is making deactivating or this redstone that's going into the hoppers separately on each level. That way all the potions move down one tier, down to the next level where they can be brewed with another ingredient. Yes, this has to be a wooden button, as a stone button will provide too short of a redstone signal. And now we're on to design 2. This is a modified version of design 1 that I decided to modify. Couple changes is that it's meant to be actually be built twice back to back like this, and the intention is that you would have an auto-brewer at the top brewing the first 3 steps to your potions, so nether wart, potion ingredient, and modifier, but then you're manually inserting the ingredient for the gunpowder. So there we go, putting gunpowder. Then once that's over, you just hit this button once, it'll bring down the ingredients once here, and bring out some more. And of course, because this is just an alternative disposal design, if you don't want to store all the potions you get, this is just an automatic system to throw all those potions into the lava automatically. This design overall requires twice the amount of ingredients, so you would need 18 chests of each ingredient, gunpowder, your modifier, your potion ingredient, and your nether wart. But it'll allow you to grind alchemy twice as fast with this design. Overall, you can grind alchemy faster, but it costs more materials. As for getting the potions in the first place to shove into here. I use the combination of my of my friend's water bottle filler, and then you also want to use an auto brewer. Any auto brewer from online will work. Just need to brew the first 3 ingredients here. So this is making potions of healing. These splash ones are from pre-modification. This is actually ImpulseSV's design. I'll put a link to his video in the description of this design. The small difference is that this is a 2-tick delay because it makes it more reliable that way. Overall, this just helps you brew potions, and then you can just connect your hoppers over to these hoppers or some other way you can feel like. And again, any auto brewer will work as long as it's brewing 3 ingredient potions like this. And then this just so it fills up with water bottles to insert into here. There's that same on and off switch. So overall, you would stack those on top of both of these, and then basically what you would do is you would hit that button, of course, put in your gunpowder, go over here, hit your button, and then put in your gunpowder along the line here, and hit the button here. This is so it prevents the downtime of waiting for the last potion you put an ingredient in to finish brewing. But basically, design 1 will you have to insert an ingredient into a brewing stand about 61,000 times in order to, or yeah, you have to insert an ingredient into here about 61,000 times in order to get to level 1,000 in alchemy. Meanwhile, with this design, because you're only manually inputting the gunpowder, you only need to insert an ingredient 30,500 times. That is what is useful about this, although it is a bit more expensive since you need twice the amount of ingredients to brew the potions and also to manually brew. So those are the 2 different designs. One's more material efficient and one's more faster to grind with experience for alchemy. Anyway, with those 2 designs, of course, world downloads in the description. You can use either design. Personally, I would go for design 2 because it's relatively simple to require double the materials of everything if you already have a farm for everything. You know, you got a gunpowder farm. There's a couple ways to get that. Witches can get you most of the ingredients, and other farms are very simple. And of course, sugarcane's easy to farm. Glowstone, redstone, you can either mine those, make a witch farm, that sort of deal. Anyway, those are the 2 designs, and now with those out of the way, let's get to the specifics of managing the brewing stand and why and how these designs came to be. So from the very start, there are 3 actions to try and optimize when coming to a design like this. Inserting the bottles, inserting your ingredients, and of course, taking out the brewed potions afterwards, such as through a hopper system like this. And once we let this finish brewing, overall, we need to make sure we optimize this the best that it can and with the least amount of effort. So of course, hoppers are one way to automatically take out the potions, as well as inserting new ones, of course, such like this. As for so we can use hoppers to insert and import and export the ingredients just by using hoppers to make sure they delay and having only one set of hoppers or unpowered at a time so that the potions can move predictably, preferably bottom up. Now overall but what needs to happen is you have to be putting in the ingredients yourself. So, you know, that's what mcMMO detects. You putting the ingredient so it can give you experience once the potion brews. So ideally we would have the least amount of effort outside of putting in potion ingredients. So these contraptions here kind of represent my struggle for trying to figure out the redstone. Like, such as in a hopper line when doing things in bulk, You want to try and depower the bottom layer first, so that the potions go down one tier, and then the next tier gets unpowered. This works well here, but when you try and stack it up even more, we start running into some issues because this line of redstone here actually depowers both these hoppers and these hoppers at the same time. So this is my gradual process to try to figure out how to reduce the amount of redstone needed. You know, having the redstone for the bottom hopper in front, for the floor, or otherwise, in my finished design, I found something that was relatively simple that's for this 4-stage brewing process, which is to have these 4 hoppers and then extended redstone repeater line here, and then the bottom hopper just like this. You would just have like just hook it up to some redstone just like the others here, so that all of these are constantly powered on, but then in unison you would line up the redstone, so this bottom hopper is unpowered, then repowered, unpowered, then repowered, all the way up to the top. So with that, this comes the final design here, where I was just trying to compress this design as much as I could while it being 1 block wide like this. So I was able to cleverly use the second from the bottom hopper by having some redstone below. And then this only needs to be extended out slightly to assist me in this. So my friend LupasWolf came in, and when he made this design, he used something that I didn't know, was that target blocks help the redstone actually head towards the, well, we ignore that. Actually, instead of it being a line here, it actually tracks the redstone, which is great because this redstone signal does not travel down here and interrupt these redstone torches. It's only this top one, which is really useful because this design is now far more compact, where it only extends out 3 blocks compared to 7. Well, actually, that one can be, no, yeah, it is 7 blocks, and can easily be stacked horizontally like this. That way, you can have a long hopper line. Just remember that the redstone signal strength does have a limit, so eventually you would need a gap somewhere where you would need another redstone repeater. But overall, it's this one wide design that can be stacked horizontally. It's not tileable because they don't work separate from each other, so it's more like one module slice of sorts. And that's why this is designed. But then you're probably wondering, why not have just one row of hoppers? And then once you finish throwing ingredients into each brewing stand, then go from the start again and start brewing more. This design would work if you're solo, but if you're splitting the workload with someone else, they can help you with this as well. Also, it can help prevent you from needing to move around as much, depending on how you move around. Like, sure, you can move left and right. This just simplifies the process here. Also helps you keep track of, if you made a mistake and a potion ingredient didn't brew, this would help fix it. So how does experience gain work in alchemy? Well, it's rather poorly balanced, I would say, because with those contraptions, Design 2 specifically, I estimate it would take about 20 hours to reach Alchemy level 1000, which is a bit extreme, I would say. The general expectation is that in a brewing stand, you insert your nether wart, get 15 experience per bottle, 45 experience for the 3 potions that you brew in one brewing stand. Then, with the potion ingredient, like sugar, like butter, whatever else you're making, you get 30 experience per bottle, which is 90 experience per brew. Modifier, whether you're redstone or glowstone, you get 60 per bottle, 180 experience per brew. And then the final stage, to make a splash potion with gunpowder, 120 experience per bottle, or 160 experience per brew. Now, for some reason, if you make the gunpowder first, insert the gunpowder first to make a splash potion of water, it gives you 30 experience per bottle, or 90 experience per brew. So doubles the other method of putting the nether wart first. Then all the other stages give the same amount of experience, even though it's in a different order. It's just that the gunpowder is first instead of last. So this results in 15 experience, 15 extra experience per bottle across a 4-stage process, which is why in Design 1, gunpowder is first. Of course, and so because you get a little bit of extra experience materials. Now, the problem here is stage 4 is quite weird. Because it doesn't matter as long as you've done the first 3 stages, that's why in Design 2, um, it doesn't actually matter whether you have gunpowder or the modifier be stage 4. I just did it for gunpowder because it was more intuitive, but either way, they'll give you the same amount of experience. You'll notice here that out of all of these, the last stage gives 50% or more of the total amount of experience compared to of all stages combined, which is why design, but for only inserting one ingredient, which is why design 2 design as is. You'll waste the experience from these ingredients, but you'll grind your alchemy twice as fast in this regard. Why this quirk happens with the gunpowder, I'm not 100% sure. Alchemy is in a very weird state right now, and Nasser50, the creator of the mcMMO, is planning on reworking Alchemy sometime in the future. However, that update's been delayed for so long that I've been able to put the time into this video because I feel like it'll still be relevant for a significant amount of time. But overall, that is basically my rundown on the 2 designs on the Alchemy grinder. You could possibly make this design here, this design, instead of having it be 2 sides, you could have it be a circular thing. Then you still have to wait for the last ingredient to brew, hit a and then hit the button or whatever to move all potions down. So this is kind of a design 3 in that more spiral shape here. Chest where all the potions goes into here. You can move this just based on where you move where you direct the hoppers in order to avoid all this redstone. But basically the gist of it is that you be able to just stand here, no move, insert potion ingredients into these 12 slots. Then in between that, hit this button, then 3 new sets of potions would come down. Do all those, throw in your ingredients, throw it in 4 times, or you could do the gunpowder only, the design 2, or just have auto-brewer, it's above here. Other than that, and then once you're done with that, you throw these, click that button again, and I've synced the timer so that now it ensures that all 12 brewing stands, so 36 potions, or full inventories with potions, comes all out, nice and clean. There we go. It's the design of design 3, a more circular, or I guess square. It's even symmetrical for the most part, except for this redstone here. Yeah, that's the secret design 3, I guess. More user-friendly opinion. You still need to put down the auto brewing and water filter, or water filler. That's up to you. Alright, well guys, thank you for watching my alchemy grinder video. I hope these designs help you in either making your own or using these designs to help you grind alchemy, because god, it takes forever to grind these skills. Otherwise, in the future, I don't know. I don't know if I'll make a guide on the other skills in mcMMO, but alchemy is one of the longest skills that it takes to grind. So I hope this helped you. If you have any questions or such feel free to say them in the comments below. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Shout out to my friend LupasWolf, and shout out to ImpulseSV for his auto-brewer design. And I guess I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye.